Welcome to Welcome to the Power and Purpose Podcast Talk Show. I'm your host, Patricia Shirley. Let's dive in.
Hey, how are you? I just wanted to come on and really give a bit of encouragement to everyone today. And I wanted to talk about the ability that you have within you to, in fact, get back up again. I want to tell you that no matter what you face, no matter what you're experiencing, you in fact have the ability to get back up again. Sometimes there's situations that seem to be like out of your control, things that really weigh you down, that provide pressure and stress. Maybe you've been through a divorce. Maybe you've been through restarting your business. Maybe your vision collapsed. It doesn't matter at what phase we are in our life. You in fact have the ability to get back up again. And the reason why I preface it with again is because there's so many different things that in life we can face. And we feel as though we are at the end of our rope and we just cannot take any more. And that's when we need to understand that there is the power inside you to be able to be resilient and tenacious and absolutely, positively, without a shadow of a doubt, get back up again. Tell you, just different circumstances that I face. But I one story in particular, which really caused me to meditate and kind of catapult me, in my career when I was just at the end of my rope, end of myself. I had gone for a promotion. I had went up to my supervisor and I felt as though I had capped out. Like, where else can I go? I've done everything. I've put procedures, policies, systems in place. I was a leader. I had a staff and I was handling a large volume of money. And I really felt as almost to the point where I outgrew everything, right? And I had faced so much financial turmoil at that point, emotional turmoil. I was having personal situations that had gone on with me. And even at that time, I had just had my last son. And so during this time, I kind of felt like, how do I get unstuck? How do I get out of this situation and kind of thrust myself into the next level? And there would be so many times in my life, so many times in my career, so many times in situations and circumstances where I would have to get back up. And I hope that this encourages somebody today to know that no matter what obstacle you face, no matter where you find yourself, no matter whether you are on a job, no matter if you are starting your business as an entrepreneur, you can in fact get back up with whatever you face. If you feel stuck, you can get back up. But today I just want to emphasize the fact that I was in this position. I had went to try to advance myself, try to move forward. And then I heard the words that would change my life. I heard the words that would in fact catapult me into one of the greatest areas of consulting and contracting that I would enter into. And sometimes as you're getting back up and as you're facing challenges, you need to hear words that will trigger inside of you things that will catapult you, right? You need to hear that tough stuff. You need to hear the thing that makes your inside kind of cringe but pushes you into your purpose. So I'm here to tell somebody today that the thing that I didn't want to hear was the thing that I needed to hear in order to catapult me. So during this time we were implementing a computer system, right? And we had a lot of consultants that came in. So I had one person that would come in and he would sit next to me. And he would sit next to me and he would evaluate every single thing that I was doing. He would look at my systems, my processes. He would look at how I worked. He would evaluate every single thing of my regular job responsibilities. So, he kind of looked at me and he said, wow. He said, you're so awesome. He said, you do an amazing job. He was like giving me all of these compliments. And I was just like eating it up. Because, sometimes as leaders, like you don't get those kind of compliments. You work really hard, but it's rare, right, that people kind of compliment you and talk about you in this facet. So he's complimenting me. I'm taking it all in. I'm basking in the glory of everything that's being said to me, everything that's being spoken to me. But here comes the thing I didn't want to hear. He says to me, but you'll never be promoted. And I was like, how could you take me all the way up high and just drag me down, right? And he said, but you'll never be promoted because you're too valuable to them at this level. At this level, you have become so valuable that you have capped yourself out with the ability to grow. Yes, you're great. Yes, you know the processes. Yes, you know the systems. Yes, you can do everything and you're so invaluable. But as a leader, you're not called just to do and know everything. We are actually called to reproduce. We're actually called to reproduce others, to be a model. And even as one that knows Jesus Christ, we are to be the model of Christ so that we can duplicate and replicate ourselves into other people so that they can fulfill their call, right? So I had become so good that I had stopped myself from the ability of growth. And in fact, when I would try to go for promotions and different things like that, I had capped myself out. And here I was like, how dare he say that to me? That's not true and all that kind of stuff. And in fact, I'd go for promotions. I do all these kind of things. And I kind of put myself in a box, right? By being the everything to everybody, right? And by being the one, you know what I mean? That, you know everything, you do everything. That's great. Everybody can go to you, but that's not really how you grow, right? And I hadn't learned that yet. This was several years ago. I had a staff, a very large staff. It was a multi-million-dollar company dealing with about $30 million a month. And here I was almost, just capped out. But I'm telling you today, those words would resonate in my heart for months, days, and it caused me to get back up. Because I had fell into what I would say was kind of like a slump. And sometimes things that we hear can get us kind of depressed and get us kind of suppressed and everything. And so I said, no, this is not going to happen to me. I've got to do something different so that I can make myself valuable on a different level. So that would in turn spin me into taking, I wind up taking certifications. I wind up studying for tests. I wind up getting certification after certification. I then started teaching out of college. I just used everything that I had on the inside of me. And then what winded up happening, it brought me to my next catapult. I got back up from that broken place, that barren place, that place where I felt like I was stuck and I couldn't produce, that place where my money was capped out. I couldn't go any further there. I kept beating and trying. And then you can't make it because this is good and this is great and the salary may be okay, but it's time for me to go to my next level. What do I need to do? That I need to get back up. I need to realize what's on the inside of me, and I need to catapult in a greater dimension. That's going to cause you to get out your comfort zone. So as introverted as I was, I began to teach classes at college. I began to really put myself out there. I even started, I said, you know what? That's it. I've got to get a contract. I have so many skills. I'm so valuable. So it would take me into my very first contract where I was making about $8,000 a month. And all it would take is for me to change my perspective, change my mindset, and I would know that I had the confidence to get back up from the place where I felt like I was stuck. And I don't know what you're facing today. I don't know where you're capped at. I don't know what your money looks like. I don't know what you need to hear in order to get back up, but I'm here to tell you today that you can in fact get back up from everything that plagues you, from everything that tries to stop you, from everything that tries to resist your forward motion and your progress. You see, it doesn't matter matter whether it's a divorce. It doesn't matter whether you feel capped out at a job. It doesn't matter if you have turmoil or struggle, maybe at home, maybe in a marriage, maybe with your children. Maybe you feel as though I started that business and it's going nowhere. I don't care where you find yourself. You can, in fact, get back up, and what you need is actually on the inside of you. It's not outside of you. You don't need to seek anything else. You see, I was under the impression that I needed something else from somebody else. I was waiting for a job to give me a promotion. I was waiting for a place to hand me something. But in fact, when I learned to get back up, I learned that I possess the ability to begin to hone the skills that I already have to release and catapult me into my next level. I promise you, God has a unique destiny for you. I'm telling you, as you listen to this, allow God to take you where He needs to take you. If you are a leader, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a mother, if you are someone that's facing transition, I'm telling you, your greatest place is going to be when you realize that you need to hear the hard thing, but then after you hear it, you need to shift, and you will get back up from everything that you face. Make it an amazing and awesome day.